We are going to discuss about the economic life of the Indus Valley civilization in this section. It has been seen that the Harappan civilization was a very prosperous civilization. Trade and commerce was in a very developing stage, and that pointed towards developed economic life of the people in the civilization. It also indicates towards prosperous villages and towns which had multifarious type of economic activities in which people were engaged. So on the whole, we can say that it was a very prosperous civilization. It had prosperous villages and towns. All this suggests that this region must have been very fertile, which had made agriculture the main occupation of the people. People were engaged in various types of activities, economic activities. They were engaged in production of food crops. Besides, different types of crafts and industries were there. We have evidences of existence of both internal and external trade. They had trade links with outside with the Mesopotamian civilization. We have evidences of that. So all this indicates that this was a very prosperous civilization. Economic life was bursting, and different types of economic activities were there in which people were engaged. As I told you in the initial stage, that agriculture was one of the main occupation of the Harappan people. It was a mainstay of the people. The region was extremely fertile, and that is substantiated by the fact that there were granaries in most of the Harappan sites, which indicates that production of agriculture was good, and the surplus production used to be stored in these granaries to meet the requirements of the people in the urban regions. So production was surplus. Different type of crops were produced, like wheat, rice, barley, lentil, chickpea, sesame, mustard, jowar, beans, ragi, different type of millet crops. Cotton was a very important crop produced in the Indus Valley region, especially in the Sindh region. Scholars believe that the Harappans were the first people to grow cotton, and evidence of cotton has been found at Mehergarh, which is an important Harappan site. Agriculture was practiced in the river valley, along the banks of the river Indus and many of its tributaries. For doing agriculture in a proper way, wooden plows were used for tilling the fields. We can say this with certainty because terracotta model of plows have been found at Mohenjo-daro and also Banwali in Haryana. Bulls were used for plowing, and this has been depicted in many of the seals and the terracotta sculpture that has been found in the excavations in different sites. Furrow marks has also been found in some of the Harappan sites, for example in Kalibangan. It is anticipated by the scholars, by the historians, that probably two crops were grown. simultaneously in the Harappan region. For harvesting the crops, tools like copper sickles, stone blades with wooden handles were used. Some traces of canals have also been found in some of the Harappan sites like Sartogai in Afghanistan. But normally scholars believe that water drawn from wells were used for irrigation. This was the main way of providing irrigation to the crops. Besides agriculture, domestication of animal was another important occupation of the Harappans. The Harappan people domesticated different types of animals. Numerous seals have been found in different Harappan sites, which suggest towards domestication of different type of animals like bull, cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, pig, dogs, cats, humped bull, camel also by the Harappans. Bones of camels have been found in large numbers in many sites of the Harappan civilization. Harappans also reared elephants, and its evidences have been found in different sites present in Gujarat. However, it is very difficult to say whether horses were used by the Harappan people or not, because bones of horses have not been found in many of the Harappan sites. There has been some sites where bones of horse-like creatures have been found, but it has not been found in large numbers. So it is very difficult to say whether horses were also used by the Harappan people. We can't say that with certainty, but remains of such animals which resemble like horses have been found from Surkotada, Lothal, and also Kalibangan.